Many moons ago, I started a post. It was called the Infrared Remote Light Control System. This is Robbie at tech-tut.com, where it's more than just a project. It spans many years, this project. But in July of 2008, I started this project. I blogged on it, gave you a parts list. I gave you C files. I never gave you schematics. How in the world could I do such a thing? Well, about a year later, I posted in September 2009 a better infrared remote light control system. Same system, same schematic. I gave you the remote schematic this time, and a new remote C program, and a new parts list. But I never gave you the receiver schematic, so this project was pretty much useless. And then I told you that I was going to give you the schematic by saying, and I quote, "I'll leave the old posting, but this is the best way to make the remote." Well, wonderful. I'll disassemble the receiver and get a schematic out for that someday. Well, today, 11:37 p.m. on July 13th, 2011, is that someday. I'm actually doing it. I'm going to hand draw it. I'm going to put some changes in it that I didn't do and I wish I did. But here's the remote. Here is a test remote that actually goes to that television. Here we go. There's MP Lab. That's where I started writing the program. I took the old one. I made some updates while I was doing this. I added a new... This isn't it. That's the remote. I didn't change the remote. It's the same. But I added some new stuff. In the measuring pulse, it sends back a 16-bit number, or returns a 16-bit number. It has an error bit that is set to 0 immediately, but then it sets timer 0, which is set to internal timer 4 megahertz, which has a 1 microsecond tick. Every microsecond it increments 1 in that timer until at 65,536. Boom, it's going to overflow. And if nothing has been received, because I found sometimes this would hang, so I fixed it. It goes to this interrupt function. Oh, come on now. We need to zoom over some. There we go. That makes more sense. There's my pulse length. There's the error used to indicate an error has occurred. Interrupt for timer 0. Error occurred. Error equals 1. If the overflow happens, it sets the error and it will exit from these whiles and go, okay, not true, not true, not true. It'll return that into this part of the program and it goes pulse length. Most likely it's not going to match up to this. It says if there was an error, 1, 2. It'll toggle the LED twice. If there is just a simple error, it's, hey, this doesn't work. It toggles once. There you go. That's the program. So here is the demonstration. Remote. Not to this, because this will not receive regular remote stuff. Let me zoom out. Here we go. Let me use the volume so I don't change my channel. One blink means it's not working, and it blinks. Now see, if you did this, if you were turning the volume up on the TV, the program on this integrated circuit would freeze and get stuck, and it wouldn't receive any information. And sometimes you'd have to unplug it and plug it back in to get it to work. And here's what that signal looks like. Whoa. So here is the signal for this, and you'll notice I'm going to reflect it off of the screen and make it work. See it? There's the flash. Now there's a 2-second delay before you can turn something else on. And now here's what happens if it tries to receive it. It toggles the red LED. That's how that works, and I don't have anything plugged into it. But on the inside there was a mistake on this board. I wish I hadn't have done it. But even when it's not on, these guys are live. There's a hot wire, it's always hot. I wish I'd have fixed that. Better thought about it back when I designed this. So here we go. Here's the schematic. This is our voltage in from the wall. I'm not done with this. 120 volts. It's rectified to 12.3 volts. Goes to our 7805. Spits out 5 volts. 5 volts controls the PIC, and it controls the relay voltage through our microcontroller controlling these transistors. When the transistors are on, the relay throws and the voltage comes through. This is what I'm not done with. These on my old schematic, which is probably good I didn't publish it, somebody would have yelled at me. I had that connected to ground, and it completed the ground, and then the plug was always hot. Now I'm going to correct it and say from the hot wire go to here. So this will always be hot, but the circuit that comes to the end of the plug will not be energized, so you can stuff paper clips in it if you feel like it. And fix it that way. That way, hot to here, and then ground return from the other outlet hole. The second thing that I want to add, would have added had I thought about it, which this thing's worked for a while and it hasn't really had any issues, but back EMF, a diode should be placed on each one of these to keep back EMF from damaging your transistors. So when this goes 0 volts, there is a magnetic field here that collapses and sends voltage back in that direction. So we don't want that. That's about it. You've seen it work. Check me out, tech-tut.com. I'll actually have this up, hopefully, before this video gets posted to YouTube. I just wanted to see what I've been up to. I'm not doing my homework tonight. In fact, it's 11:43. I really need to give up and get to bed. 7 o'clock comes early. That's it for tech-tut.com. That's the infrared remote receiver that will finally have everything in one spot. And I'll probably copy and paste from the old posts and just link them to the new post and fix it that way. That's it. I'll show you around. There's some programming stuff. This video's over if you want to turn it off, but if you want to see my junk, there's my computer. Kind of took it apart. There's a video of that. Maybe I'll get to that next. I never did publish that. There's a video on it. I never did finish what I started. Here's my Picket 2. I wish I had the Picket 3, but this still works. Soldering station. Really need to clean this junk up. That was a text message I haven't answered back in like 45 minutes. Pocket knife. That's my favorite pocket knife. My friend Eddie, he oh boy, here we go. My favorite flashlight. I think it's a Streamlight Stylus Pro. This thing goes everywhere with me. Fits nicely in my pocket. Prototyping stuff. Camera. Bench power supply. Camera charger. Alright. That's it for this video. Thanks for watching. This is Robbie at tech-tut.com. You can find us at http://www.tech-tut.com.